I saw a quote today. It says, Stacy, aloha, Stacy. What does it mean to work on yourself? It is to stop waiting for others to change. Yeah, that's a good one. I love it. That is really, that was really potent. I love that. Hi, Hope. Love you. And I'm so grateful for your talks. Oh, thank you, Stacy. If it resonates with you, would you talk about how you woke up? Like, was there a pivotal moment that changed your perspective of everything? Yes, there was. And I've talked about it before, although I don't have anywhere where I could refer you to because I don't really keep track like that. I love to talk about it again. I'll tell you this, nothing I say is true, and the story changes every time. So if you hear the story on another podcast or video and it sounds different, that's because it is, because it's because nothing happened. Okay. But here it is from my perspective right now. There was extreme suffering for one. It was very, very intense. For me, from my perspective, it was very intense. There were murderous thoughts, there were suicidal thoughts. There were, just was like just the sense of dread, okay? The sense like I couldn't make it through a night unless I was kind of a little bit inebriated. Like I needed like wine and weed and to just kind of be like cross-eyed. And as I was going through that too, I was just noticing because, I already knew how to notice. And the more I learned how to notice, the more I noticed, man, I'm freaking fucked up, which wasn't really true, but I thought it was true. Okay. The more I noticed about myself, the more I hate about myself. That was how it was going. So I was learning how to notice things. More I was like disgusted with myself, let's say. So, I projected that everywhere. The people in my community, I felt like the people in my community weren't supporting me. I felt like my family wasn't supporting me. I felt completely alone. I felt like I had this big job to do, but no support. Just major victim story, really hardcore victim story. To the point where I had so much pain, I had to scream. I had to just scream. I just spend sessions where I just scream at the top of my lungs. I was hurting so much. And I heard about, I had been taking a course in miracles at that time when it got really intense. I'd been taking a course in miracles. I don't know how far I was along in that, but I was on my first go around through a course in miracles. What is it? The workbook. Probably a couple months in. I had done probably like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years of Kundalini yoga. So I was, spending time. That's the thing about yoga or anything. It's not really so much the method, but spending time focused on awakening. So that's, that can bring up some intensity. When you're delusional, like I was really, I'm always delusional. I'm perceiving in separation, but delusional in a way that I'm just like suffering hard. Okay. Like that. But feeling like just totally unworthy, a wreck. I was observing myself and did not like what I was observing at all. So, I felt like I needed an escape. I felt I needed to get out of whatever I was in. I just needed an escape. And I had heard about this VIPASSANA meditation thing. I was not into it when I first heard about it. I could not imagine going somewhere for 10 days without any bacon. At the time, I ate a lot of bacon. So I couldn't imagine, when my friend asked me about it, I said, I would go if I could get bacon in there. I at least need my bacon, okay? So I had heard about it, and then all of a sudden I was called to it, like powerfully called to it. I felt like my heart was going there, almost like it was a lover calling me. And I felt like I had to wake up. I felt like it was just so urgent. I had to wake up. So I went there and I sat. Schedule was 10 hours a day for 10 days sitting, and the rest of the time all completely silent. So I felt like I was going to my lover all of a sudden, and I don't know how or when I got that way. But like a month before that, I had gone to a 3-hour meditation, and I'd never really sat in meditation before that. I had done a lot of yoga, which is meditative. It can be meditative, but just to sit still in meditation. So I went to this 3-hour meditation thinking you can leave after a half hour. You don't have to stay in there, you know? And the 3 hours, just like, it was so beautiful. I just loved it. I was like, whoa, I'm a meditator. Okay, interesting. So I just felt like, oh, I want some more of that. I just want to be in that silence. I'm just like excited to go and be in the silence. I just really want to be there. And I just felt like I had to wake up too. It was urgent. So there I am, day 4, after 4 days of hurting very much, especially in my back. I was meditating bent over like this. I was just meditating like that because my upper back hurt so bad that I just wanted to transfer the pain to my lower back. So that's how I was sitting there meditating. And then the teacher gave a discourse about the Buddha. You know, the VIPASSANA has to do with Buddhism. Teacher gave a discourse and said that the Buddha decided he was going to get enlightened. He said, I'm going to get enlightened. I'm going to sit under this tree and I'm not going to move. Let my bones rot into the ground. I don't care. I'm not moving. I'm sitting here until it happens. And I'm sitting, something about him sitting straight. So I heard that and I go, shit, I've had painless childbirth. If the Buddha can do this, I can fucking do it. So my back straightened and I just went through the pain and I kept my back straight the whole time. I just kept it straight. And then I think it was that same day, the day that my back straightened out was also the same day I came back into the meditation tent and I was crying. As soon as I went to sit down, I started crying, tears. I wasn't making noise. I'm in a meditation tent with a bunch of other people. So I was crying, just tears just streaming down my face. And I was sitting there for the whole, that session was 2 or 3 or 4 hours. I don't remember. That whole time, I cried the whole time. And then, you know, there's probably a couple more meditations after that. And I'm crying the whole time. And then I go to bed and I'm crying and I'm up in the middle of the night and I'm still crying. And so, you know, that there was definitely some intense suffering, and I'm just using the, I was using the VIPASSANA methods with everything. So I was using all the feelings, and you know what tripped me out about VIPASSANA? I knew that there was wisdom in the body sense. I knew there was wisdom in it, but I didn't realize what VIPASSANA was. I had no idea. When on day 4, when they gave that discourse and said what it was, that was when I got so excited, because I just know, I've known this for a long time, just not exactly how it's accessed all the time. But that the pain that seems to be in the body is the means. And that's the way Vipassana was too. They're using the pain as the means. So that really tuned my mind into that. And when I was crying in the middle of the night and I was getting a load of the pain, finally I heard it. It became obvious to me what I was crying over. And I was crying over my mom seemingly not taking care of me when I was a little girl. And as a little girl's voice, I said, Mommy, how can you do that to me? I'm just a little girl. And I recognized that voice to be the ego's voice immediately. And as soon as that happened, there was a lifting. There was just, it's like a veil lifted. And I immediately had so much joy and so much energy. I wanted to run. I wanted to run down to Pohoiki. But I knew if I ran down to Pohoiki, they were going to kick me out. And I was going to miss 6 more days of being in silence. So I didn't run to Pohoiki. I stayed with it. I stayed up all night. I did not sleep a wink. It didn't matter. I was completely energized. The rest of the Vipassana was absolutely gorgeous. And then I knew when I got out of the Vipassana, that's when my patterns were coming up. So I got to see through all the patterns that I left When I left my home for Vipassana, I left all those patterns for me to come back to 10 days later. Okay. So once I returned, all those patterns are coming to the surface. And so now I have to, not only even just have to, want to, and I'm encouraged about it and excited about it and eager for it, is having these patterns come up in my field and watching my reactions. And my reactions were so heavy. It was so amazing. I would go to murder fast. And that's the situation that a lot of people are dealing with. Everyone is dealing with a suicidal thought, okay? And the murderous thought too. The murderous thought, for the majority of us, we don't know we have murderous thoughts. We are not aware we have murderous thoughts. It took me a lot of looking with focused attention to find the murderous thought, okay? We all have it, okay? And so, you know, someone would freaking trigger me and my mind goes to killing them. Not that I thought I ever would kill a person, but it's like I got some kind of relief over that kind of an imagination. So just watching that, not like scared, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna kill someone or something. In fact, as long as I'm taking care of my own feelings, as in, and what does taking care mean? Again, using them as a means for exposing that which is projecting it, the thought that's projecting it. Use the feeling as a means. So you're opening up to it, you're embracing it. Instead of pursuing the whirlwind that seems to be justifying that feeling, that seems to be propping up that feeling, giving it a reason to be there. Don't give it any reason, just get a load of it. Feel it completely. One reason I can do block therapy for like hours and hours on end, you guys. I know I don't have important shit to think about. I don't have shit to think about. And you know, you don't have that much to think about either. What you find yourself spinning around in day to day, you know, most of that is not necessary. It's not relevant to anything. So, you know, I know that I don't need to be thinking during those hours. That's what block therapy is all about. You can't be thinking if you're going to be doing the block therapy. Those two things don't go together. You can't think and have block. You're thinking, you're not having block therapy. You're laying on a hard ass block. When you come to visit, you're bringing 10 pounds of bacon, Glenn. Thank you. I will definitely receive that well. So Stacy, let me know if you have any feedback on that. If I answered your question about was there a pivotal moment? Change? Yes, that was the pivotal moment in the middle of the night in Vipassana. Changed my perspective of everything. It definitely took time for people to see that my perspective was changed. I think the first person that saw it in my family was my daughter, who happens to be on right now. I think she was the very first person who saw it. She's like, whoa, she's different. Something's different about her. But, you know, other family members kept projecting their memory of me, which I made them do that too. So I was taking that really lightly. And it's kind of like a game. Oh, I wonder when they're going to see me. Not like, I hope they see me. I hope, when are they going to see me? But more like, oh, how playful. I wonder how it's going to come up that they can see me. And it's all been really fun. And, you know, sometimes the seeing, in some cases, the seeing is like, oh yeah, they see me. Oh, they see me more. Oh, they see me even more. Well, I'm always changing. So that's cool. Just keep on relating with everyone. And, you know, for me, I don't take it as any kind of setback or problem with our relationship or something like that. When someone gets mad at me, even if it's someone super close to me, okay, if someone gets mad at me and they're super close to me, I know that's a blessing. So I don't take it as, oh, I must have done something wrong or something that get this person who's close to me mad at me over something. The way I look at it, the way I look at it too, it's like my friends, of course, are never justified in being mad at me. My friends, my family, no one is ever justified in being mad at me. And in fact, they're not really mad at me. I just made it look like that. It's not like I have to question it. You know what I mean? So I don't have to defend myself. If I start to defend myself, I'm questioning whether they're justified in being mad at me. That they're not justified in being mad at me. But you know, I don't taunt them about it. I don't try to taunt them about it. I know they're not justified in being mad at me, so I could just feel the experience. I don't have to try to defend myself, or I don't have to make them wrong for thinking that I'm something they can be mad at, or that helps anything. That's what I needed to hear. There's only one of us. Amazing. Yes. Yay. I'm so glad. Well, thank you for making me say what you needed to hear. That is awesome. I'm super happy to play that part. Thank you.